your top 3 issues and why?
The first issue is going to be revenue. As I've mentioned before and last night, there are many issues that the city has, and all of them revolve around revenue. You have what you want, what you wish for, and the reality. And the reality is we don't have any money. And so we need to figure out a way to get KEDC working in a more constructive manner, in my opinion, to bring in businesses where we can get a better revenue base and other things where that's concerned. 2 is going to be public safety. KED, or the police department and the fire department have been cut over the years, and so although they've done a great job, and Chief Kimball and the KPD have definitely curbed crime, but it's still there. And plus we have the perception, and where you have perception, that's very difficult to overcome. So we need a little more work in that department. And then thirdly, it would be quality of life. Quality of life encompasses many different things, and least of which is a simple park where you take your family for a picnic, let them play wherever the case may be, and of course other issues that revolve around that. So those would be my top 3 issues.
Name one goal you want to accomplish within your first year.
The first goal, without a doubt, would be bringing up and passing the impact fees. To me, the impact fees are a means of revenue. It is a tool, as I've mentioned before, and like anything in your toolbox, you need to have the correct tools, and you need to make sure that you use it properly. And I was a part of the Capital Improvements Advisory Committee, and we did a lot of work on this, bringing it to the council. And the fees that are involved with that are actually, I feel, nominal. And it's a cost of doing business. I've been in the construction business for 30 years in different states as well. And as a builder and developer, it's just something that it's a cost of doing business.
2 grocery stores have closed in North Killeen in the past year. Do you see this as a big issue, and what do you plan to do about it?
Undoubtedly it is an issue, and it is a big issue for sure. Anytime you're dealing with something that's so impactful that so many people are dependent upon, and it closes, it creates a void, and there needs to be a way to fill that void. And again, to me, that needs to fall on the shoulders of our EDC to bring in a grocer that will be able to fill that need, fill that void, and we need to make a deal with them somehow, some way to do that. It's not going to be a popular answer, but that's not the council's job. We don't have any power in that. Now, we can bring awareness to it, as we should, but for us to just make arbitrary decisions on it, that's not in our purview. But we can put pressure on the EDC and make awareness to others in hopes of solving that problem.
What should Killeen do to lower crime?
As I had mentioned before, crime and is an issue here in Killeen. Now, Chief Kimball came in some years back, and he made a commitment to lowering crime, and much credit to him and the KPT. That has happened. But we have something called perception, and perception is reality. And with that, that's something that needs to be overcome. KPD has had its hands tied for many years by the inability to fund them in the proper manner, which reverts back to revenue. So everything revolves around revenue, and so we need to make sure that we deal with that on a continual basis. That way it can make the other things happen that we need to have happen within our city. And then, of course, the fire and police are 2 of the most important things that we need to make sure that are funded in their entirety.
Last year, the Killeen City Council voted against charging impact fees to developers when they build a new house or other structure. Was that the right move? And if not, what would you have done differently, and why?
It was a wrong move, in my opinion. I am for impact fees. As I have already mentioned, I've been in the construction industry for many years, and I've dealt with impact fees in different states. With that being said, it's a tool, as I've already mentioned, and you have to give this an opportunity to be successful. I keep hearing, oh, well, this city's done this, and this has done this, and it's going to impact us in a negative way, and so on and so on. You know, there are no two cities that are identical. So what might work for one may not work for another. So we cannot use that as a blanket. Now, having said that, impact fees are not a be-all, end-all. They are not the magic bullet. They are a means to an end, and we need to keep that in mind. But we need to not just arbitrarily throw them out and get rid of it without even giving them an opportunity. So I would urge the council, and this comes up again, especially when I'm elected, that we bring this up and then we pass it for the benefit of bringing in additional revenues to our city.